It's not terrible, but it's bitter. There's just not a lot going on.
Hey guys, it's Kellen, founder of Standard & Twain, and here's part one of my morning blending cigars with expert cigar makers in Esteli, Nicaragua. We are starting early. It's about 7:30 a.m. and we are at La Bodega, the facility where tobacco is sorted, processed, and stored before going to the Nicasueños cigar factory. Nicasueños is the factory owned by RoMa Craft cigars, and all of those strong, tasty RoMa Craft cigars you know and love are rolled at Nicasueño. RoMa Craft and Nicasueño were started by Skip Martin and Mike Rosales, but today I'll be working with my friend Alex, RoMa Craft's manufacturing consultant, and Churro, who will be rolling the blends and has decades working with tobacco. You may have seen Alex in the videos we posted recently as he discussed the RoMa Craft Aquitaine for our monthly blind tasting cigar subscription, as well as the Cro-Magnon Pennsylvania. Alex is Canadian, but a couple years ago he left everything and moved down to Nicaragua to work in the cigar industry, and to be honest, at this point he's going to forget more about tobacco than I'll probably ever know, so it's an honor to get to hang around with him this week. It's early, my eyes are swollen, and my stomach is empty, but it's time to smoke a lot of cigars, so let's get going.
I'm about to get schooled, to be honest.
Churro is arranging the tobacco so that we can create some blends. So far he's lined up Seco from Jamastran, a valley in southern Honduras near the Nicaraguan border, Ligero Corojo 98 from the Dominican, and two types of Ligero from Condega. Condega is about 15 minutes north of here, and though it's nearby, the tobacco from here tends to be more medium-bodied than Esteli tobacco. And with this, we're going to use a Connecticut broadleaf wrapper. So here we go. If you're used to smoking fully completed cigars, this may seem a bit archaic, but this is how blends are created, as the flavor will end up the same, it just hasn't been in a press, so it's not as pretty. Maybe it was just because it was my first cigar of the day, but the first blend was good right off the bat. Full of leather and spice, and strong, but really clean. Next up was the same blend, except Churro changed out the first Ligero Condega with the Ligero Condega number 2. Condega is a really small town, so how different could they be? Turns out, extremely. It was an entirely different smoke, muted flavor, much less strength. Amazing how complex cigar blending can be, even just changing the location of tobacco within the same area can affect the entire cigar.
I'm smoking a different cigar. It's totally different. This one's way less flavor, way more tranquilo, it's more gentle.
Next is time to change up the wrappers. We used the same binder and filler as the first blend, but we switched out the Connecticut broadleaf for a Connecticut shade. As you probably guessed, this changed the flavors entirely.
Tastes like a cigar with a Connecticut wrapper. Not my thing. It's bitter. It's not terrible, but there's just not a lot going on, and it's got a little bitter aftertaste. Yeah.
So we had to make some adjustments. To counteract the bitterness of the Connecticut wrapper, the first churro doubled the amount of Condega Ligero in the filler. Then he changed the Jamastran binder to Connecticut broadleaf.
Okay, I'm gonna try not to pass out.
This made all the difference. Now flavors like roasted nuts and earth really emerged, and the bitterness was gone. Churro was excited to find the right blend. I asked him why we needed the Seco Jamastran in the blend and couldn't just use the broadleaf and Ligero as the binder and filler. First he showed me how well the Seco Jamastran burns and then compared it to the Condega Ligero. He explained how not only is it vital for a blend to be balanced in flavor and in strength, but also in combustion. And that's where the Seco Jamastran came in. Finally, it was time for breakfast. Maybe it was just because my body was relieved to get a nicotine break, but I promise this was way better than it looks. Alright, thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with part 2.
Okay, on to the next one.
If you'd like an opportunity to blind taste cigars every month, we have a great offer for you. Just use promo code FREE2SMOKE when you subscribe to get free cigars. Our blind tasting package is an ongoing adventure to hunt for, curate, and discover the very best cigars for you. Standard & Twain is not a Cigar of the Month club, but a tasting experience that allows you to decide without bias which cigars you enjoy most. Go to standardandtwain.com to subscribe.